All right. Okay, so I will call the meeting to order. Good to see you all today. Um, First, what I want to start out with is to let you know that our meeting minutes are posted on the rolandopark.org website. Okay, and that this meeting is being recorded and the videos will be on YouTube channel. You can go to our rolandopark.org website and you'll see all the links. Okay, so we're gonna for this time, we're gonna do dues and memberships on our next meeting, okay? Since this is the first of the year. And so what we're gonna start with is our community announcements. And we're gonna start with Bettina and Jennifer. Is Jennifer there?
Yeah, Jennifer has an
Okay.
announcement for Redwood Village, so I'm not sure
All
who's
right,
making
so I
the
don't know if Bettina, you have something and then it'll be Jennifer or either one.
Well, good evening, everyone, since I unmuted and Bettina's muted. Welcome. I'm Jennifer Bennett. I'm the co-chair of Redwood Village Community Council. And I just wanted to propose that we bring back after many, many years, at least 10 plus years, the Redwood Village Garden Tour this spring. So we have a proposed date of Saturday, March 28th. And I'm putting a call out for committee task force members. So if you're interested in participating or being a task force member for that committee for our garden tour, the Redwood Village Garden Tour, Saturday, March 28th, please let me know. And I'm hoping to hear from some of you or spread the word if for those of the Redwood Village folks that are not here tonight that are avid gardeners. We're excited. Gives us 3 months to prepare. Thank you. Bettina, do you have anything to contribute, or John?
I don't know, Bettina, are you having technical difficulties?
Maybe.
Okay, so we're gonna assume she has technical difficulties. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to Lynn, who will speak for Rolando Park.
Okay. Yeah, that is not. Okay. Sorry, folks. Tonight is. You gotta laugh. Truly, you do. All right. Can everyone see that?
There it goes.
Okay. So beginning of the year, we only have a couple of announcements coming up. If you're on our mailing list, you did see that we're going to be doing our first planning as part of phase 2 at the Gateway Project on the 31st. That's Saturday, from 8:30 to 10:30. We're going to be adding some native and drought tolerant plants and also gopher resistant because we have a gopher who's causing us a lot of pain right now. So that's a Saturday event. We'll have coffee, donuts, bring your own gardening gloves. If you have a small shovel or a spade, these are going to be small plants. They'll only be 1 gallon. We do have some gopher baskets that we'll be putting on them. So it'll be sort of a fun way to start out phase 2. We'll see how this goes. We'll probably do a second planning next year as we get into the rainy season again, but we'll see how this goes first. The only other thing we have coming up, and this is not really in January, but it is on February 1st because it's the first Sunday of the month. And we do a cleanup at the Rolando Park Gateway. It's an hour on a Sunday morning. We just meet up. We've been cleaning College Avenue on the Rolando Park side, all the way from Livingston. We're up to Meridian now. And we're able to keep it pretty clean. And we'll be starting to do stuff for people who don't like to do trash pickup. There's going to be lots of gardening work to do, a little bit of weeding, some trimming, things like that. So show up if you can. And we expect to do a cleanup the rest of the way on College Avenue down to University sometime in the spring once the rainy season's over with. I think one more page, that would be it. If you didn't see our email, we're thanking everybody this year. That was a good way to start out. First of all, this is the best membership we've had since pre-COVID. We appreciate that because we do need financial support in order to do the projects we do and even to hold meetings. And next month, we're going to share what our budget looks like so people understand a little bit understanding about what our expenses are. Thank you again to everyone who donated to the popcorn fundraiser. We raised the 50% funding that we need because the PTA pays for the other half of this to do what will be our 5th movie in the park this year. So we've been pretty successful with this. We also want to thank everyone who donated to our food drive for Feeding San Diego. We delivered 568 pounds of food to the Feeding San Diego headquarters. So well done, everyone. Well done. And also want to thank all of our volunteers this year. We had almost 60 volunteers. I don't know when this community has ever had 60 volunteers in a single year, but we did. We had people who showed up for cleanups, for dumpster days. We have volunteers who put our signs out for us, Jerry, Sonia, Lori's not here, but yeah, so we really appreciate that. And with that being said, I'm going to stop sharing that page. And we're going to move into our share the wheel, spin the wheel of appreciation. This is our January thing. So we have 2 wheels up here this year, starting first with the kids, because we separated out all the kids under 18. So I'm going to spin that wheel for them first. And I preloaded all the names. I did get this part right. And I actually know that. That is Nora Monte Dioca. And Nora and her mom, Whitney, helped us clean up the parking lot for our movie in the park in July. So I'll make sure that Nora gets her card. And then we're going to move on to our adult spin. Whoops. And Michelle, tell Steve he can take you out to lunch, okay? Steve Alexander. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much. So I'll get a card to you for Steve. Thanks. All right. We'll do that again in May. And that is all I have for now. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Lan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the next thing will be our public comments on non-agenda items. If you could keep it to 2 minutes. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say? Here.
I'd like to make some comments from the Rolando Park Fire Safety Council. I want to thank Fire Department Station 10 for sending a crew of 5 to our first brush reduction event on Saturday. And we didn't expect it, but they actually worked on the hillside with us, with our 7 volunteers for about an hour. So that was really nice of them. And then the 8 Mid-City Fire Councils are sponsoring the New Year's Wildfire Safety Event on Wednesday, January 21st at 6 o'clock at the Prop Center. And the Prop Center Salvation Army has generously allowed us this room gratis. So we're very appreciative of their efforts. So it will be at the Rolando Room. You can RSVP via the flyer on rolandopark.org. You don't have to join a fire safe council to attend. We already have 53 people who RSVP'd, and we're hoping to have 100 to 120 chairs available for people to come.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone online have any non-agenda items they'd like to talk about? All right, thank you. Okay, so on to our community reports. Okay, if we can keep them in 4 minutes, appreciate it. And we're going to start with Officer Joshua.
I need 15 minutes. First and foremost, it's good to see everybody. Happy New Year's. I'd like to introduce my new lieutenant. It's going to be Acting Lieutenant Adam Wells. He's no stranger to Mid-City. He was a sergeant here for a number of years and then came back as an acting lieutenant. So I'll let him have the floor for a second.
Hi, everyone. I want to come out with the new year. Mid-City's going through a bit of a change with our command staff. We have a new captain, Ricky Pedasso, just came in the first year. And then I took over for Lieutenant Dungan. I want to come out, basically, Mid-City is split up into 3 parts. I have the eastern side, which you guys follow. And then I'm blessed to have Officer Josh Cummings as my CRO, and he's excellent. He's always telling me all the projects that he's working with, a lot of community involvement. And I rely on him. He updated, but I want to come out, introduce myself, and then if we need to delegate some resources and stuff to help you guys out, help him tackle those things that come up. That's questions. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Nice
to meet you.
We're
gonna put you over here.
Oh, gotcha. We're about.
Right where he was.
Oh, okay.
Lieutenant was standing.
Alrighty, so start out real quick with my reports, and I'll try to get to this pretty quick, and just in case there's some questions. Happy to report that it's been 2 years now since I've been in this position, a little over. All of the projects that we have accomplished over the last several months or a couple of years are maintained, which is a good thing. So there's no regression in new encampments, no regression in all these troubled areas and violent crime that were happening, say like 50th and El Cajon. We're still, obviously, I'm paying really close attention to it, but things are holding, which is good, right? Because maybe those places aren't Rolando Park, but it pulls resources, and that's the goal. How do I reduce those points of friction to free up the officers to have more time to respond to the calls that come from your guys' specific community, along with the fire department, EMS, environmental services, MPD, everything else. So those things are all holding, which is a good thing. Violent crime is never a good thing, but there's a very, very important statistic that I think that I'm going to share with you guys, and it's pertaining to homicides of all things. Last year or the year before, we had 33 homicides for the city of San Diego. This year we had 28 homicides. So we actually decreased in homicides. The most impressive part of this, and why I want to share this is out of those 28 homicides, we solved 27 of them.
Oh,
And we're actually working on that 28th one last year. So almost 100% solve rate, which the national average is 64 to like 68%.
Yeah.
So for a city our size, to reduce the violent crime with staffing levels that we currently have, and then the resources that we're dealing with, but also to have a solve rate so high with these violent crimes, it's incredible, to be quite honest. So I wanted to share that with you all. It's a great thing. Over the last month, our crime suppression team had a really significant gambling den takedown. I spoke about gambling dens before in our division. Sometimes we'll have 8 of them running, sometimes we'll have 12. It's not really a Rolando Park thing. It's mostly Plano del Sol in that area. But nonetheless, they had were trying to basically conduct a stop. The guy ran into the gambling den and he was on probation. So they did a call out and discovered everything inside. It ended up being 33 gambling machines, thousands of dollars in cash, 9 arrests, and a loaded firearm.
Was that
So, what was that?
was that streamed?
No, I don't believe so.
That sounds shut down.
But that was a
That is wrong, right?
significant actual arrest, and these gambling dens wreak havoc on the community. There's drug sales, there's firearm sales, there's homicides that happen, robberies, home invasion robberies. These things bring everything. It's really just this trap is what I call it, where like all the bad kind of people hang out, and then a lot of things happen in that, and it just everyone around them just pays an incredible price. So for them to be able to take something like this down and recover that much money, a firearm, make that many arrests all off of one contact, it's actually a pretty incredible job also. Staffing, it's obviously still an issue. And talking to my new lieutenant, we were having a sidebar as we were here. According to what we saw today, the chief essentially released 80 officers were down, 80 officers from last year. So that's 80 less than we had last year at this time. And out of those 80 less officers, from what we can basically understand based off our numbers, we're down 12 in our division. So that's a significant amount, because when you think about 80 officers, that's pretty much what's working any given point in time in the city. 80, maybe a low end in the 70s, maybe up to 90 plus, but 80 officers could basically maintain calls for service for the entire city for an entire shift. So that's a lot of officers that you're down. We do have an academy that just graduated. They graduated 35. They're just now hitting the field. We'll probably is based off of previous and historical. We're likely to lose 2, maybe 4 out of that field training, sometimes more. The next academy that is set to graduate, I think, is a few weeks out or so. It's 43. So that's a pretty decent number. And the academy after that, I believe, is actually pretty large as well. But it takes time, right? For each one of these guys to get hired, to go through the academy, 5.5 months, to the field training portion of 4 months or maybe 6, depending on how they perform. And then to get in the field, and we're talking about a solid year minimum, start to finish. So it's a long process. And being down 80 is quite a bit. The other thing I'd like to share is fireworks. So there's a new fireworks watch group. I'm pretty sure people have already heard about it, but I'll continue to reiterate it. If you know of a chronic house that is lighting off fireworks, and it's a clear burden to the community, obviously. I mean, they're illegal regardless. However, the ones we're after are the really those serial offenders that are out there doing it every Tuesday night just because it's Tuesday, and then Wednesday because they feel like it, and Thursday because they had some extras. Those are the ones that we're trying to figure out. With fireworks, it's really hard. It's really difficult to deal with because we have to be able to identify the person lighting the actual firework. However, if we can narrow down an actual address or license plates or things of that nature, we can at least go and make contact and just say, hey, these are the kind of consequences to these actions. And we started this new community watch group, and we're really trying to get on top of this and figure out the best way to address this. A lot of times it's that contact that actually stops some of the activity. For example, off of Jeff Street, we had a significant amount of fireworks being launched off, and we were able to go out and I was able to have a conversation over a couple contacts. And with that, it pretty much ceased for a very long time. And that was going on, she can speak to that, it was going on for months. And so if we can just figure out those addresses, it's hard. If you want to report, hey, I saw fireworks off in the distance, you can report something like that to Mid-City Fireworks watch@gmail.com. But understand that those ones are very, very difficult. We need hey, my neighbor just lit off, a bunch in the front yard and they've been doing it for a week, and it's, I can't, that kind of thing. We need to be able to narrow down an address. That's what we can actually work to see how we can best address that. So please keep that in mind when you're reporting the fireworks stuff. And I get it. It's been going on citywide for a very long time. It's a huge burden to the community. It is an issue, and the group is actually going to be trying to work with city council and everybody else to try to figure out how do we increase penalties, right? How do we address this? Because obviously fires are a huge issue as well. So it's something we're trying to wrap our heads around. Outside of that, equal habitation wise, we've been working on the frontage road here along College, and that's getting cleaned up. I went by there today. There was no jet skis. There wasn't a boat. There wasn't a motorhome that historically had been there. We did tow a pretty large truck there. We towed a motorhome off of Livingston. I marked 2 down off of between Argonne and Rolando. I marked 2 motorhomes there. They're moved. I'm working on another one. So we're trying to keep the vehicle habitation, the pressure on, offering the resources, of course, progressive enforcement, but also, they can't just live in their RV in front of people's houses and have their tanks leaking all over the road and everything else. So if you have that issue, please let us know. We are short on vehicle abatement officers. We'll do the best we can to address it. I think I've taken up all my time, so I wanted to just open up for a question or two if anybody has them.
Anybody online have a question for Officer Cummings? Got a question?
Yes, sir.
Did you have one?
I don't have a question. I just wanted to thank Josh for all his hard work. You're amazing. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You had a question, Sam?
Yes, thank you for coming today. What's the optimal class graduation size?
Big as we can get.
Big as we can.
I mean, optimal, obviously, if we can hit that number of 50 for the longest time, we're really pushing to get 50 recruits into an academy, but it's been extremely hard to fill those academy seats as of the last 2-3 years. So 43 is actually pretty good size. But it all comes down also to, I think they're gonna start working on, from what I understand, a little bit different, approaches on who they recruit. Because, right, this job really isn't for everybody. It's very difficult. There's a lot of risk involved. There's obviously a lot of danger involved. And the problem we're having is what we've seen with some attrition in the last few years is we'll hire a lot of people, or some people, and they'll get through the academy, they'll get in the field and like, yeah, I don't like this. This isn't good. And we don't want that for them, because that sets them back, right? Months and everything else. It sets us back a long time as well. We don't want it for the community, because if somebody's heart isn't in the right place and they're coming, to your house and you need help on the worst day, we need to make sure that they are plugged in and wanting to be there, right? So it goes all the way around. And so recruiting is starting to look at who we're hiring, what kind of qualities make good police officers, but what kind of qualities, what attributes these people have. They can make it through this gauntlet of training, if you will, and then get out into the field and actually thrive, because that's ultimately what we need. And that is obviously community mind, a big part of it as well. I wish I had a magic number. If we can get 40 to 50 in every academy, things would be good. But the problem that we also have is retention. And we've had that for the past 20 years, probably. We just can't seem to retain people. People are leaving the agencies, Carlsbad, right? Irvine Twist Farm, going out of state, going everywhere. And for example, the new contract that Carlsbad Police Department just got, it's really good. We have to compete with that. We don't compete with it. They just go where they're going to make a little bit more money. Cost of living is high, guys are looking. So the other thing is our overtime. Our overtime is, we're rarely very understaffed, but our overtime, because obviously city budget constraints, has been cut pretty drastically. And it had, we didn't have a choice. Everyone has to cut where we need to, right? And so we've had to adjust our budget. That, guys can't make extra money like they used to. So there's a lot of hurdles that we're working on, but retention is a huge priority that we need to have. Because we can't keep our people. What good is it putting them through the whole process of transfer? Hopefully that answered your question.
Very thoughtful. Yeah.
More depth than I want.
Oh, thank you, Josh.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, everybody.
Oh, no worries. All right. Right. Well, it's the beginning of the year. It's a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
All right. So next we will have Carolina Dotting, right? Present to us. Carolina, you there? We can't hear you there. You're unmuted, but we can't hear you.
No, it's just fine. Let's circle back to it.
Okay, we're gonna come back to you. All
Yeah,
right,
that's
so
it.
next we're gonna go with Sam.
Do I need to stand over there? Can I stand?
Yes, please.
So they could see you on the.
I was just perplexed by the camera. Like, there's no way I can see you. But good evening, everyone. My name is Sam Gonzalez, representative of the Office of State Senator Pearson. It is so great to see you guys after 8 months. It's been a while. I'm here just to say hello, introduce myself, restate our community priorities on behalf of State Senator Pearson. And I can start off by saying that I will be here more often. There's been changes to my schedule that allows me to be here more frequently. You guys remember last year I was here like every 4 months, which isn't a lot, but that's really due to how big Senate District 39 is. We pretty much cover all the way down from Coronado to Crest, which is east of El Cajon. And then up to, I think, Ocean, no, not Obi. One of those communities over there, all the way to Lemon Grove, or Spring Valley actually now. So it's a pretty big district at the state Senate. We have 40 total districts. So out of 40, we're 39. The other ones, I think it's Brian Jones in East County, our neighbors down south, Padilla, and our neighbors up north, Catherine Blakespear, Senator Catherine Blakespear. So we have a pretty small delegation at the state Senate, but we also have our state assembly counterparts. So they also do the same thing we do, which is facilitate conversations between state agencies, which include EDD, the Franchise Tax Board, Caltrans, any state agency that you can think of. We can reach out to them and connect you with them if you need community, I guess, casework, if you need education, if you need answers to a policy question, we can find that out for you. I do have updates here, so I'm going to go ahead and do them before we're out of time. Let's see. Okay, update number 1. So Black History Month nomination deadline, January 30th, 2026. This is an upcoming deadline, so if you hear this message now and you're interested or want to nominate someone, go ahead and visit us online and submit your nomination. Help elevate members from your community by nominating them for recognition by Senator Weber Pearson. There are 2 categories our office has for your nominee submissions: Unsung Hero and Black Business. Unsung Hero nomination description. Oh, that was for me, sorry. An unsung hero is defined as a person who makes a substantive yet unrecognized contribution, a person whose bravery is unknown or unacknowledged. The California Legislative Black Caucus established the Black History Month Unsung Hero Award to recognize individuals who have contributed selflessly to their respective districts. This honoree will be invited to a special Unsung Hero ceremony in Sacramento. So you get to travel to the state capitol. Black business, in honor of Black History Month, the California Legislative Black Caucus partners with the California Black Chamber of Commerce for the annual Black Business Brunch. This event will celebrate Black-owned businesses and allies that make a direct positive impact on communities of color. This honoree will also be invited to a special luncheon event in Sacramento. Again, the deadline is at the end of the month. If you're interested, you can contact me. I have business cards and we can help you fill out the nominee form, which is really short, but it's really important that you submit it now, because we need to review those by the deadline to make a recommendation to the senator. Any questions on that? Update number 2. We have a book fair event coming up later in the year, but we are collecting donations in the form of monetary purchase in collaboration with Barnes & Noble. So basically during January 17th through January 24th, any purchases you make at a specific location in Barnes & Noble will, some of the proceeds will go to our event in support of that. This is a draft, so I don't really have the flyer yet, but once I do, I will send it out to our chairs for distribution. Any questions on that? Oh, and the location will be at Fay Elementary. So this event is specifically for elementary school students. So it's not open to the public per se, but it's targeting a location we think deserves to be elevated, and the senator chose that school. Update number 3, sign up for updates. You can contact me or visit sd39.senate.ca.gov/sign-updates. One more update on behalf of Jewish Family Services San Diego. They are having a positive parenting awareness month celebration, a free resource fair on Saturday, January 31st, 2026. This will be at Skyline Hills Branch Library, 7900 Paradise Valley Road, San Diego, California, 92139, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, this is a family resource fair. It's completely free, and the host and the organizers are Jewish Family Services San Diego. Any questions?
Any questions online for Sam? Right.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. I'll be here till the end of the meeting if you're going to talk more one-on-one, or if you have any questions that you don't want to ask.
Thank you.
I would also just point out that Sam's information, his contact information is on our website, rolandopark.org. Under community numbers and links, you can find a contact information for Sam. Roberto will be making some changes there, but it's kept updated so you know how to reach any of our representatives.
Thank you for that. Very useful too. I also go there. It's very pleasant.
All right, so we're gonna try Carolina Godding again. Are you available, Carolina?
Is your name?
She said in the chat she's just gonna listen today, so I don't know that she's gonna present.
Okay, all right.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. So I think last but not least, because I don't think there's anyone else.
No.
Roberto Marin and Anissa Muhammad.
I'll start.
Yeah, I'll just start off. Sorry, I'm gonna remind But I just want to do an introduction here. My name is Anissa Mohammed. I'm the new community representative supporting Ronaldo Park, Ronaldo Village, and Redwood Village in El Cerrito with the council member Shawnella Rivera's office in District 9. I just want to say I'm really glad to be here and getting to know every single one of you all. I'm just appreciated to be here, as well as like as a community representative. My role here is to listen, help connect others with concerns in like city departments, and just support the work that's already been happening here in the community. Just some community updates from my end that I've just been hearing. I just wanted to start off first with some community safety incidents. Then, as many of you all I know, or if you don't, there's been like an increase of hate and targeted incidents affecting communities locally and nationally, within including the Somalis community, whether that's like the caregivers. This Sunday there was a well-attended town hall with the Partnerships of New Americans. PANA, which is in Redwood Village. So we just talked, we met with residents and the chief of police, Mayor Gloria and Sean Rivera to talk about how recent report had to report incidents within the police department, as well as like continue to stay engaged and support the community with these incidents. Secondly, I've been hearing a lot about trash services and containment issues. So I've just heard a lot of frustration around like trash cans, not being delivered or missed pickups, delays with ESD. I know this has been very stressful. So for many residents, our office is actively working to follow up with the environmental services to resolve these issues and improve communication. Lastly, neighborhood quality and life responsiveness. Sorry. Residents have been asking for a better follow-up on everyday quality of life concerns, whether that's like parking, street conditions. I know we had a meeting with Lynn about that, traffic or general responsiveness. Just please know I am tracking these issues, also learning the progresses and just working on to make sure those concerns are routed correctly and following up. I just wanted to say I'm really appreciative thank you all for welcoming me, as well as looking forward to working alongside you all. And just please feel free to reach out to me anytime with any questions, concerns, or any ideas that I can help out with. And I'm here to support all you all. I don't have a business card yet because I just started working here for like a month. So it will be coming soon, but just I'll just like also provide us contact information for them to obviously update, but I'm just so excited to be here.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lisa.
Lisa.
Well, I think you guys already know me, but Roberto Marin, Community Director of Community Empowerment for Councilmember Rivera. So nice to see you all. So as Anissa mentioned, we've been having some transitions office to better equip the community and to best respond to inquiries. We've hired Anissa to take over the Eastern area. We've the past couple of years have gotten feedback from Lynn and Bettina and other folks on how do we get a representative that can just be for Eastern area. So we decided to make that offer to Anissa, and she's been working with all the 4 community groups as of early December. We're really happy to have her on the team and looking forward to working with her and others as we move forward. I want to keep this relatively quick. 2 updates. The first, the Streamview Phase 2 project is still on par and still on schedule. I did get some responses from the engineering capital improvement projects. I asked specifically if funding had still been secured, and that is still the case. The green infrastructure project is fully funded. Funding is anticipated to be secured with no overall project schedule impacts. The project will be going for construction in the beginning of summer 2026. So we are almost to the finish line, ladies and gentlemen. Please hang on. And they will be presenting again at the Eastern Area Planning Group sometime before the summer construction day project. So when that comes out, please feel free to make your voice heard and come out and obviously support this very important infrastructure. The second thing, as Anissa mentioned, we've been seeing a lot of unfortunate events with the Somali community, but not only that, with some ICE-related activities in Minnesota. We acknowledge the frustration, the pain that a lot of folks are suffering right now, and what better way to mend some of the distrust that not necessarily is coming from the police department, but coming from our partners. And so we appreciate Chief Wall coming and taking this time to talk to the Somali community and to really understanding the issues at heart. The police, I want to reemphasize, I know they've said this a bunch of times, San Diego Police Department does not enforce immigration law. That is not their priority. Their priority is to keep the residents of the city of San Diego safe and deter from other criminal activities. I know they are sometimes put in a tough position, so I want to give them their flowers as well. Another thing I wanted to really talk to you about as well is our beautification efforts. Lynn will talk more about it today, about planting trees, painting murals to beautify our community. Something that we've obviously have seen is a lot of graffiti and other illegal dumping activities in eastern areas. This is one of the ways we're planning on tackling that. And lastly, as Josh mentioned, the police department is down the officers. One of the ways we're hopeful to work with Josh and I have this conversation is tackling abandoned houses and also problem properties together with the city attorney's office to make sure that those resources that are being allocated, as Josh maybe has mentioned before, it could be a couple fire engines, it could be a couple squads that are going to these dangerous households that are abandoned. And what we can do on our council is really put pressure on the city attorney's office and development services department to really make sure that those needs are met for the community, but also frees up a lot of the resources that the police department needs in other areas. So that is it for me. I will actually last acknowledge we have an unfortunate situation that happened over the New Year's. I got the unfortunate call from Lynn and some folks from Village Green. Due to our efforts, it was unfortunately certain, I believe 10 to 12 units did sustain minor damage to their units. The canal did. Preliminary results say it did back up and it overfilled again. So we are working with Wakeland, and I did do a site visit with Lynn on how we can best support the residents. So with that, we are actually going to be starting a kind of a supply drive for the residents. And we're still working out the final details, but we are planning to preliminarily have it at Regions Pharmacy for a couple weeks. So feel free to bring any diapers. We'll have that information readily available. But if you can bring anything to them, they would be greatly appreciative. I know last time there was some efforts that Lynn overtook last year, 2024, and were successful. So please, if you have the ability to, we'll be obviously helping out in that capacity in other ways. But feel free to give to these folks who they are in need, and they're going to be displaced for quite a bit. So I'll take any questions. I know we've got to move on. So I don't know if anyone has anything.
Any updates on that lovely little house at the corner of Mr. Grande, because they put that fence up and there's that drainage ditch that was back there, and I think they parked their cars in there. And I always wonder, because that area likes to flood, and it's like, I don't know if that goes to affect the village drains right there. You have you can't see what they're doing back there.
Yeah, so the irony is Buck Johnson did lose some cars in the flooding. So irony. The good news is on our front, we did get an update from code enforcement. Looks like there are residents mobilizing, and I know Lynn's working them back to mobilize to get them to the administrative hearings. One of the problems with, and we see this time and time again, is there's a lot of red tape, bureaucracy tape around these certain things, and I'll be frank, and the councilman's been very honest as well. It lags, and it gives folks like Josh more headache to tackle these issues when we can give the ability for the police officer or the specific department to do their job. I think it would be more effective and less costly in our opinions. And so one of the ways we've been advocating with Lynn is getting folks to that hearing, but sometimes the hearing's at like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. They got to take work off, they got to get childcare. So there's a lot of factors we're going through. We're moving in the right direction. With construction, with the sewer pipes, there's been minimal activity around there, but we acknowledge that there's still work to be done. So we've been keeping the pressure on them. I've been very clear with them that the community is beyond frustrated. Just for perspective, this has been going on for a year and a half. No community should wait more than a year and a half to get results. It's unacceptable. And we'll be continuing to push forward. That's moving forward. So.
Yeah, one of these days there's going to be a major accident there, and the way that they like to. I've actually thought about, that's how I get out and get in. I've actually been thinking, when they're done with the road, I might go a different way because I've already had
near misses.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
they should have that many cars like that.
Any other questions? Roberta?
Add one more thing,
Anybody
Sonia.
online?
Can add one more thing, Sonia.
Oh, yeah, what were
Just think
they?
one more thing and
Oh.
topic that no one's talked
Let
about.
me see if there's any other
Okay,
questions
yeah.
and then we'll get your last little thing. Anybody online have a question? No, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Balboa Park fees.
Pittsburgh's coming out.
Yeah. So, we hear your frustrations. We hear loud and clear. I know it's not a conversation no one wants to have. I'm having it now. We recognize that, after conversation internally of feedback in the community, folks like yourself, we decided to make the hard decision. And of course, folks are criticizing, but leadership calls for this. And so we've advocated to suspend the resident fees. Unfortunately, the mayor doubled down, did not want to allow that. That is his decision. He is the chief operating officer. We made it very clear, and the councilman made it very clear that if the implementation wasn't so sloppy, I think there would have been a better result. But the reality is we're here. Folks are not happy. And Sunday, if you weren't looking at the news, there was hardly no one on Sunday. No, I was there.
And so I think that's a message for us to be held accountable. And, this is something that the council member did vote for, and you'll be frank. But in reality, we're reversing, and that's not something a politician likes to do. It's taking accountability for his own actions. And so I just want to report out to you that he's had a change of heart. We're working on what that looks like. Again, as of right now, fees are still implemented. If you guys have any issues, I know Tim reached out to me and yeah, well, we're still working on that.
Someone said from the mayor's office that you got the city treasurer. I don't think so, is it?
Yeah, it's the city treasurer.
Okay.
So we're getting direction on any inquiries of delays and stuff like that to the city treasurer office. So reach out to Lisa and I for those inquiries. But again, I want to reiterate, to make revenue, it was not the way probably we should have went about it. But here we are, and we're working through that. So we always appreciate your feedback. I want you to know that we take every email, call that y'all take about Balboa Park. We take it seriously. At least I do. Lisa does. And so we appreciate y'all calling us and giving feedback. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Just to follow up for the Village Green too, I did talk with Roberto today and some of the residents. We do have a list of some needs that they will have while they're staying in hotels. So I'll have a flyer out within the next day or so, and it'll be set up like our food drive. We'll have a box at Regent's Pharmacy, and we'll have a box at US Cleaners again. I think Sam is 100% support us. So we'll set this up for a couple of weeks and arrange with my storage manager over here to store things until we can get things delivered to residents. They're going to be out for a few months.
And we have this posted on the,
No, we just worked it out today.
okay,
Yeah.
so then we can put a blurb of where they can go to.
Yep,
do
I'll have a
this.
flyer and we'll get it up.
Okay, so we'll get a
everything.
flyer up on the website in case you don't remember, or go back to the recording so you know where it's located. But all right, anything else?
No.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're gonna move on to our first action, which is suggest possible locations for mural art in Rolando Park and Redwood Village. So part of this, as Roberto mentioned, helps deter graffiti. So we are looking at suggestions where in our neighborhood where we can put murals. For example, my suggestion was at the 7-Eleven on College and Building. And on this wall behind 7-Eleven, it tends to be graffiti. So that would be a good place. Plus it's very visual. You could see it from the street. So it'd be a nice thing there. So that was my suggestion. So we're looking at people
We also are going to be doing one. This is we're not even voting on this. This is going to be at Rolando Park Elementary. On the joint use field out there, we have the ramp that goes up to this upper field. It's a wonderful space to put a mural and do something with the school community. So that one's a given, I think.
Okay.
The other one would be in the community.
So do we have any other suggestions from anybody online or anybody here as to a spot where they would like to see a mural in our neighborhood?
We did,
So as you're walking around the neighborhood, you can always shoot us a message and say, oh, you know what, I just realized, this would be a good spot.
Uh,
Right.
I was thinking maybe the 94 freeway underpass, that it's just kind of covered up graffiti areas that's dull. College and the 94 exit, there's that overpass there. That might be nice to have some art.
we tried a few years ago and we ran into this incredible communication gap with Caltrans as to how to do art there. We unfortunately gave up at that point because we did talk with your office, and even Chevelle said, I know who to talk to, and we still didn't get a response. A couple of years ago.
Yeah, because that was where we initially wanted to put our.
That is,
mural.
yeah, where we initially wanted to do one, and it just,
Just kind of fell off.
yeah,
because of
we spent a year
The difficulties getting. support
emailing
or
Caltrans and not
response.
getting a response because they do have a program, but it's a lot of hoops to jump through. So unfortunately, we can't. And we also, not just for Rolando Park, we're soliciting ideas for Redwood Village as well.
Exactly.
And is the 94 underpass really considered in Rolando Park?
No, no.
Yeah.
But we thought it would be a good because there's a project going on. I think Groundwork's involved with it, and it's to bridge communities because the 94 is a divider between communities. So there is some funding to do it. It's just getting through all the red tape.
Okay, so as I mentioned, as you're going around the neighborhood, if you see anything you think of, just shoot us a message.
I hang on, because we actually will have to have this in the next week in order to have people vote on them.
Okay.
I have a suggestion here from Nordine.
Okay.
For Redwood Village. It's on Dwight Street.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a retaining wall that's made out of gunite that is often tagged.
Oh, I see. Yes, I think, and Vicky Church sent a suggestion for the same spot, I think. No, yeah. Vicky Church suggested 54th Street between Streamview and Choyas Parkway. There's a wall there as well. Okay.
What's the cross street?
Nordine, what's the cross street?
I think it's Day.
Dwight and Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put a picture on the chat.
There you go. So we can share the picture. And you said another was 54th and where?
Comes from Vicky Church.
Vicky Church.
She said 54th Street between Streamview and Choyas Parkway. There's a, you know that wall is, yeah.
Oh, yes, but isn't that a residence wall?
I don't know. I don't
Choice Parkway.
No, see, that's what it looks like. It's in a text. I can't
Oh,
put
yeah,
it
yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah.
So we'll get pictures of all of these and put it up so people can see what
Yeah.
we're talking
I
about.
think that's across the College Grove Way on the other side, right?
No, it's up 54.
Oh, okay.
Streamview and Choice Parkway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
a big wall. Okay.
It's a big wall.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's 3.
So, well, I mean, but that's Redwood Village too.
Mhm.
Dwight. 54th. Someone else suggested Rock Street. Yeah, because that street, there's graffiti back there virtually every week. As soon as you paint it, it's cover it up, it gets graffitied again.
Okay.
So,
Back in the beauty supply.
yes, yeah. So for Rolando Park, we have 7-Eleven, possibly Party House would be interested, or the repair shop next door. They have a wall that's always graffiti.
Okay. I'm going around the neighborhood in my head here.
We don't have a lot of blank
Yeah,
walls.
we don't have a lot of blank walls.
And
as
we
go
also
around.
don't get a lot of graffiti here except
Mhm.
on a party house and the repair shop.
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, it made me think of it right next to 7-Eleven. There's on the little college, there's a residence wall that constantly gets.
yes, there is,
That may
right there.
be a good wall if they're okay with a mural being
They
on
might
that
be
wall.
okay with it, yeah. I know, I just drove by there because there's a RV park there. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's on Middle College.
Yeah, so maybe we can snap pictures and we could put these up and
We'll put them up and that'll
we
be,
can do a vote on where we want to put
want to
those.
pursue it. And then
Mhm.
Roberto's office said they will be helping us coordinate this. So this will be a project for us to do this next year, just to get smart in the community. And
That'd be great.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So now it's that time. 2026 community priorities. So everybody gotta get your creative thoughts going on what you'd like to see in our community. Any kind of priorities. What were our last year's priority
I'm
list?
gonna pull them up because I did okay. So real quick, we're actually able to complete a priority this year, the Gateway Project. We'll be adding to it in phase 2 this year. So that's sort of other. On the illegal dumping on Streamview, we did execute, thanks to our District 9 office and also District 4. We did 3 community dumpster days over there. Myself, Tim, and representatives from District 4 and the mayor's office, Fatima, we went out and surveyed the Streamview residents and talked to them. We gave them flyers because Environmental Services has new flyers in 4 languages. We did a survey about some of the issues, and we've seen basically no reduction in illegal dumping. And we just think at this point, as we noted earlier, we think that we've done a lot of work on it, but we really think that it's time for the city to step up now. We do not have a good policy. They're not enforcing illegal dumping, and yet we see it every single day on Streamview. We have a spot on Livingston and 69. That's one of my weekly walks because I report illegal dumping there every single week. I just don't know where the community goes unless we have some help from the city to back it up. I just don't know what else we can do. And then I just wanted to talk about traffic calming because this has actually been a priority for Rolando Park for 10 years. And it doesn't feel sometimes like we've accomplished a lot. But this year we did get a new stop sign put in. That was a result of a community walk audit that we did with Circulate San Diego 2 years ago. It took a year to get it in. They did the intersection at Aragon and Marlow was one of the first to get daylight painted earlier this year. Last spring, we sent a list to Josh of 7 intersections where we see constant moving violations at stop signs. And traffic enforcement has been out. It's been very sporadic because it is something that the community has to continue to follow up on. It's very important that people continue to turn in requests and ask for help at stop signs. They've also been out with the radar trailer at a couple of locations. So it's no surprise to me that Aragon is averaging between 33 to 35 miles an hour. It's not 25. But we just don't have a lot of, if we can't get help because there aren't any resources in the police department, I don't know where we can go with this. We just keep pushing it and asking for help.
So, do we have anything new?
Yeah. Or do we want, are there things?
Or do we want to, is there something as far as traffic is concerned, that we want to continue on, or any other things in the neighborhood? Actually, I have the one that I've been mentioning. It would be a big thing, but I'd say kind of beautify or figure out a way to maybe plant trees or something going from Billman down to University on College Avenue. That's a mess all the way down the hill, right? And it would be nice to come up with something to make that look better. I mean, you get mudslides, there's like 100 different trees and plants on that hill. It collects a lot of trash on that hill. The weeds grow a lot. So it'd be nice to do something that can better control and make it look nice. It's a long stretch to be looking as bad as it looks. And it would be a big undertaking, but it'd be something to start with at the top and just move on down. So that was my input for what I'd like to see as one of our projects. We got the gateway, so kind of move into another section of the neighborhood. Anybody have anything else they can think of? Jerry?
I'd like to suggest that we look at focusing on fire prevention and risk mitigation efforts. A large part of Rolando Park, and probably even more than Redwood Village, are in the very high fire hazard severity zone. And there's a lot of information out there. There are a lot of different groups doing home assessments for people to let them know about Zone 0. And I think Zone 0 doesn't only apply to people who are in the very high fire hazard severity zone, because embers are the primary cause of house fires, and embers can travel for miles. Mm-hmm. So it just seems like, given the city's push to implement Zone 0, that this would be a good time to let people know that they're, what they can do with home hardening Zone 0. People keep thinking of defensible space and they have to take their trees down, and that's not necessarily true. And I think there's been a whole lot of emphasis on defensible space and what you do in your yard, but there's a lot that you could do in terms of home hardening and doing things to mitigate risk of fire. Okay. I mean, so if there are embers, they're going to go outside of the very high fire severity zone. Right. So, I mean, the one house that burned down with the Montezuma Fairmont fire was hundreds of feet from where the flames were. It was embers with stuff piled near the house and getting under a wooden deck that then the fire got into the lady's house.
So I can understand for sure, what would be the specific action you want to see?
Maybe education on fire risk mitigation and safety, public safety related to fire.
So more like a presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Education and making people aware of the resources that are available in terms of home assessments, where people can have somebody actually come out and look at their house, not from an enforcement perspective, but from an education perspective.
So you were looking for more like a workshop sort of thing?
That would be a good start.
I have a question or idea, but it may be out of our area. The Vista La Mesa Park, it's a commonly used park for a lot of mothers and families with young children in the neighborhood. But getting there is not so safe. Like there's no sidewalk or crosswalk or stoplight. I was just wondering if that's been talked about or if that's out of our zoning.
It's in La Mesa. Is it Stephanie? Because I know that
Yes.
someone turned
Hi.
that in over the summer as a capital improvement project suggestion. And that area is actually La Mesa. And we don't have any input into it. That's the bad news. The good news is I did talk to a surveyor there over the summer who's actually, they're going to be putting sidewalks in after they finish their water and sewer project there. It's not going to happen anytime in the next year or two, but in a few years, there will be a sidewalk because they see the need for sidewalks to get safely to the park there on King Street.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, it won't help us, but there was a suggestion from JR, trees, both sides of college. That'd be a true collaboration between our two great communities. So I think, you know, trees, whenever we can do a tree project. And we'll talk about that in a minute, Nordine. That's not we're talking about priority. The bikeway project is going forward. Did you,
Yeah,
Roberto,
well, it's like I've always wanted to sidewalk down in place too. It's like in the drainage ditch across from that Eagle Health. But it's like the palm trees got cut down a while back, but you know, that place needs to be, you know, things start growing up in there and it's supposed to be for water. And again, that whole water thing, that's all down.
yeah.
And I remember it used to be really nice because they used to walk kids down there and we'd go look at the frogs.
Yeah, someone told me they used to fish there.
Yeah, I mean, it's all like, you know.
That is actually almost a sore subject right now. Because the stormwater department is doing a project, but it's going to be west of there. They will be vacating some of the stormwater drains, and one of them would be at the Eagle House. Yeah, sorry. And they're going to be putting in a culvert, you know, at College and University. It's called the Rolando Park El Cerrito project. And unfortunately, the area that they don't plan to do is the area that is flooded out 3 times in the last 7 years and flooded the Village Green Apartments, and that's that section there. The reply that I got from the engineer was that that's an enhancement. They're working on a critical project. I don't think when you have people being flooded out of their home, that's an enhancement. That's really a necessity to get fixed. But that's a capital improvement project. We're sort of looking at things right now that we as a community can put into motion. Capital improvement projects, they're millions, they take 10 years. And yeah, I mean, they're important. We get those submitted, and we submitted through our planning group. Every year we submit priorities. And that stormwater drain is on there. Xena Canyon's on there. The city it's committed to buying 100 acres of park space. And Xena Canyon is 14 acres. It belongs to a school district that doesn't take very good care of it. So we did put that on our infrastructure priority list this year as well, plus some sidewalks where we see that we can get sidewalks. We do our missing sidewalk from Judy McCarty Way to University. They will be doing a new phase, I think hopefully next year, would start next year, and that would be sidewalks from Judy McCarty Way to Meridian. So then at that point, we would be 50% done on a continuous sidewalk between the 94 and University. And that will be almost 25 years to get done. So,
Right.
that's the way it goes.
So to Lynn's point, something a little more for us to be able to accomplish in a shorter period of time, such as pushing for our, you know, gateway or those types of things.
There may be a different solution to this, but the Xena Canyon entrance there.
Mhm.
Is now actually
Broken, yes.
Yeah.
My also suggestion to that, if there was to be a repair there, instead of having an entrance. No, not a change of fence.
Yeah.
I just think that.
Just to close it off
like, yes,
completely.
because the amount of transient activity that goes down there, the fire risk from being down,
Mhm.
the lack of care that continues to be on there. Yeah. Sure, I get it, but everywhere it's a burden. There's no trespassing sign there, it's school property.
Right.
Having transients with certain fires are not very, obviously, you don't walk in near school.
Right.
But the fires also, and then in addition to that, right, how do we enforce no trespassing?
You have an opening.
Walking your dog in the canyon for the transit guy, because the law has to be enforced. Fair and even across the board. So, at a community park, a homeless guy can go in the community park, so we have what, so they can't pick and choose who trespass.
Right.
So either it's open to everyone or it's open to no one. And I think it's probably better suited to be no one, give it back to the city property.
Right.
That's just my 2 cents, and I think that's something small we can accomplish and solve a lot of problems that we pertain to the activity and the fires.
Gate repairs and.
Yeah, well, the gate, the fence is actually on a repair list because I submitted to get it done a couple of months ago. I don't know if you know Dave Lee is leaving. Yeah, or he's already gone at this point, so we'll be
We talked to his replacement about that.
we haven't had a meeting yet. We have a meeting next week, so.
We can bring it up.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah. And Roberto, this might be more of a question for you because we talked about this earlier today, and that's an update on the University Bikeway. Nardine asked about it. I mean, they were here in October. They were going to be starting any day now, and here we are. We're mid-January.
Yeah, don't have an update other than I left voicemail to them. And I have emailed them several times. We might have to get the mayor's office involved. As the community as well, we're supposed to be November, December, January, it's a little, needless to say, uneasy. So I'll for sure have Anissa bring the update sooner and then to.
Okay. Nice.
Do you
So,
have any updates on the repaving the streets? For all the construction of the sewer and water replacement?
Yes, that is confirmed. They have full funding to replace the streets, and it's not just gonna be like just the middle, it's gonna be sidewalk to sidewalk.
Okay.
So it will be along the park streets and those streets should look nice. I would say people 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
But yeah, they will look a lot nicer. I know it's really rough in certain areas. It's really bad.
well, yeah, I mean,
And I did look it up and it's like, supposedly I'm getting a new trash can on Friday.
we
So,
all are, yeah.
Supposedly I took the other ones out and they'll take them, so.
From what I understand, they will not pick up your trash cans unless you have an open ticket with it. So they get it done at.
That's only if they don't pick it up.
Pardon?
That's only if they don't pick it up.
No, they haven't,
There's other neighborhoods, so until they don't pick them up in our neighborhood, then you put in they say give it, if they don't pick them up, give it a day. And then put it into get it done.
I know it's in our neighborhood. Well, no, not.
Yeah. Yeah, because I went into I looked that up actually today, right? Because I saw the news report that had said that they weren't picking up trash cans with trash in them, right? But that was for the people who didn't get theirs picked up previously. So we'll find out after Friday what your next step will be. If they don't deliver them, then we're gonna be rescheduled.
I'll just wait.
So it's a wait and see, exactly.
So you're still talking about the black cans and the gray ones?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, yeah.
All right, anything else that anybody can think of? Okay.
Roberto?
I think I know we've talked about the murals, but I think just continue out throughout the year, continuous projects, murals, planting trees, beautifying the joint use park, beautifying areas for the small businesses, giving them an enhanced makeover, something that we've seen in other areas that have MADs. So Alana Park doesn't have a MAD. Because they do small business storefront enhancements. The city of La Mesa does the same thing. It's just your volunteers can come in to ask the owner what they need. They'll come back like a month and fix up great. So maybe something to be a consideration.
I also have a question for you regarding that because as part of the trash collection fee that one of the suggestions I had, because there are communities like ours that do not have MADs, is that the city actually consider putting more trash cans on transit corridors like university and college. Because we don't have a maintenance assessment district that helps keep that area clean. One of the things I see, because I've been working from Livingston to Meridian now for about 4 months, is just the incredible amount of trash that I see every single day. People just throw it on the sidewalk, throw it out the window while they're driving by. And then I realized, oh, there aren't any trash cans here. Where would you put it? If you're walking from the bus stop there and you're walking, you know, down to university or wherever you live, you don't have a place to get rid of your trash. And so it does end up in the street. I mean, I pick up trash in the same places every single time I'm out there. And it's just people dropping it because there isn't any place to put it.
I think it, and I don't know what it is, just a option, so it could be first and foremost from the economic development department. So do that or through other means. Or two, could be through MTS, because some of the MTS actually are small, do have bigger ones. The downside is unfortunately, Josh knows this transit activity starts becoming a subpar living situation for them. So there's ups and downs for that. Then lastly is our CPPS grant projects and services, our CPPS, I'm sorry. That's another option that the community wants to submit that, get $100,000 every year. We usually designate it to organizations, but you know, when I came into this role, I've been trying to use more of it as like Rolando Park needs $2,000 more for their gateway, or El Sereno needs $5,000 for their event, or more community-based approach. Feel free to submit that when the time comes. And I will say that that's stipulated on the budget, and all council members and mayor want to be back, which we obviously do.
I didn't think you could use CPPS funding on city property. That's why we didn't ask for funding for the Gateway project.
You could, it's just like we can't.
Oh, okay.
Like I can't put it.
There actually is one at the bus stop right there, but it's always overflowing.
Yeah, and it's always overflowing. MTS does have a strike team to clean up some of these hot messes, and so I know university very frequent, very times. Please give us a ring. Give us a ring. They come out and do it the next day. They'll like bleach it down. They'll clean the graffiti. So not a lot of people know that exists, but MTS does have the equivalent of like EST stores.
Okay. So I think all I'm hearing are some ideas about an education program for wildfire safety and some beautification projects. And we'll put this up into a survey. We'll be looking at murals. We'll decide on locations. So members will get an email with a link to a vote. And decide on the mural and decide the number one priority, because we will prioritize one and then look at what else we can do over the next year. So there'll be one for Redwood Village because you have different locations, and one for Rolando Park for both murals and priorities. Okay.
Right. Well, if there's nothing else. Nothing else?
Anybody online?
Think what?
Yes. What palm trees?
We'll put the sign up.
Those were actually trimmed a year and a half ago. Yeah, they were honest. I agree that they're nothing like what they look like. They had dead leaves that were about 10 feet long, and now they're only about 5 feet long. And originally the plan was to take those palm trees out. But it costs a lot of money to get permits to do the work we did. And that ate into our fund to remove the palm trees. So that's in a TBD stage. Maybe we'll get some CPPS funding for that, right, Roberta? Yeah.
All right. Anything else before I wrap it up? Right. Well, thank you, everybody, and meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. 8:19.